Self-driving cars are like New Year's resolutions, full of promises, but we're still waiting for results. 2023 was meant to be a pivotal year for the driverless car, a long-standing innovation. General Motors presented an autonomous vehicle concept at the 1939 New York World's Fair even before the war. And despite the budgets of tech giants like Apple or Google and all the efforts of traditional car manufacturers, so far it's been a false start. After investing $4 billion, Ford and Volkswagen announced they were ending funding for their joint venture. Argo, founded in 2016, aimed to launch an automated driving system by 2021. Many top brands, such as Mercedes and BMW, have shifted focus from full autonomy to driver assistance systems. Startups in the sector are facing simpler, less automated operations and plummeting stock market valuations. Like Zoox, which Amazon took over in 2020, and Drive, acquired by Apple in 2019, which permanently shut down a few months later. Yet despite this wave of bad news, the promise of the self-driving car is still holding strong. In Europe, the legal framework is evolving and hands-free driving has been allowed since July 2022. Mark Harper, the British Transport Minister, recently announced that fully autonomous cars might be on United Kingdom roads by 2026. Autonomous transportation is often emphasized when envisioning the future city. Between big promises and harsh reality, this technology represents a huge challenge and may one day be the ultimate milestone in automotive history. Let's explore autonomous cars together to understand this innovation that's going to revolutionize driving. In 2022, American researchers investigated the mystery of autonomous cars acting like Sherlock Holmes. Waymo, a Google subsidiary working on this technology, partnered with Swiss Re, an insurance expert based in Zurich since 1863. Waymo's autonomous vehicles have driven nearly 4 million kilometers in San Francisco and Phoenix without human drivers to uncover this secret. As a result, these cars have avoided nearly all issues, like road ninjas, with 0 human injuries and almost no property damage. To contextualize these findings, they were compared with Swiss Re's analysis of 600,000 accidents caused by human drivers. Surprisingly, self-driving cars reduce physical collisions by 76% and entirely prevent accidents causing bodily injury. Human drivers are clearly more clumsy, with 57% more accidents reported to the police. Self-driving cars, like good students, report even their slightest scratches. Some drivers sometimes prefer to keep their little secrets to themselves rather than report them to the insurance company, especially if there are no major injuries. So we could conclude that these driverless cars are up to 10 times safer on the streets of San Francisco. Apparently, yes, and that could be a general reality, but Waymo decided, for example, not to include their data collected in Los Angeles in their study. They claim the cars haven't driven enough in that area to collect adequate data. This study is a first that finally allows us to compare the safety of autonomous driving systems to that of human drivers. Waymo concluded that these systems prevent the risks of human driving, like inexperience or drunk driving. Globally, with 1.4 billion cars on the roads, there is 1 death every 21 seconds. More cars on the road lead to a higher risk of accidents, a trend that is unlikely to change in the near future, despite the idyllic images of cars driving freely in empty cities often portrayed in advertisements. Global road traffic is expected to increase in the coming years, and progress on autonomous cars, though slow, is still moving forward. This technology, long present in movies, is slowly becoming a tangible reality in the digital age. These vehicles, navigating the complex road network with precision and safety, promise a world without accidents. No careless errors, parking stress, or road rage from traffic jams. Basically, we're being promised cars with superior intelligence, capable of making crucial decisions, reducing the human role to that of a mere passenger. This evolution is being promoted to us as a promise of safety, since, as previously discussed, the drivers are seen as the problem. Almost every car has had some form of driver assistance for a while now. Cruise control, lane departure warning, or automatic braking are now standard features that make your car a bit more autonomous and a bit safer. Technically, these are called driver assistance systems. There are 5 autonomy levels. At level 0, the driver has complete control without automated system assistance. Except maybe for basic warnings that you already know, like automatic emergency braking or blind spot warning. These features appear as visual and audio signals, but the car doesn't change its direction or speed. Today you can find that in any Peugeot 108 or Hyundai 10. Now, let's move on to level 1, which offers a bit more robust driving assistance and can handle steering and acceleration or deceleration. In certain situations, like adaptive cruise control, which brakes when your car gets too close to another one. Obviously, at this level, the driver remains in charge and must be ready to take control at any moment. A level 2 car outperforms level 1 in handling more complex tasks. It seamlessly integrates features such as lane keeping, acceleration, overtaking, emergency braking, and automatic parking without driver input. Tesla's autopilot is the most well-known semi-automatic system, but the driver remains responsible. He must maintain control and remain attentive to the situation. Level 3, the highest currently available, represents the pinnacle of autonomous driving at the moment. At level 3, most tasks can be performed without human intervention. The vehicle continuously scans its environment, allowing the driver to divert their attention from traffic until an issue arises that requires their input. At level 4, high automation, the driver is no longer needed and must immediately take back control if the system requests it. The car can handle all driving tasks and environment monitoring autonomously. The driver can optionally take control, but it's not required. The system is responsible for all its actions, maneuvers, and decisions based on environmental changes. Level 5 represents full automation. The vehicle is fully autonomous, capable of handling all driving tasks in any condition or environment without human intervention. The car can move without a passenger, lacking both pedals and a steering wheel on board. It only exists in sci-fi movies, but it's the ultimate goal of the ideal world long promised to us. The more we progress in the level of autonomy, the more safety relies on the use of complex onboard systems and sensors like light detection and ranging to guide the car on the road while avoiding obstacles and potential traffic hazards. So obviously that presents a number of challenges to overcome. Equipping autonomous vehicles isn't just about installing a few radars on a windshield or a bumper. Even though anyone can try to build a more or less finished prototype, it's the complex management of a huge amount of data that is the main challenge. When discussing autonomous cars, it involves meticulous mapping of even the slightest road changes to make informed, accurate decisions in real time. The arrival of 5G has significantly catalyzed the development of this technology, owing to the connectivity and power of the networks. A car can react proactively to traffic issues like roadworks, jams, or accidents, by deciding on speed or route to optimize the journey, even before full autonomy arrives. Advanced remote driving systems are already appearing on closed roads or designated lanes. 5G could theoretically enable remote driving, allowing owners to send their car to pick up kids from school and monitor the trip via phone. The fluidity of information transmission enables technologies like platooning, where trucks travel in a coordinated convoy by synchronizing acceleration, braking, and steering, thanks to V2V vehicle-to-vehicle communication. Platooning involves automated drafting, where vehicles closely follow each other's path, similar to a Tour de France peloton. This reduces fuel consumption and improves highway safety. So, we're talking about a revolution that promises maximum efficiency and safety thanks to perfect optimization of trajectories. This theory is mostly applicable on highways. In cities, it might differ due to the busier and contrasting road environment. Drivers naturally analyze collision risks, learn continuously, gain experience over time, plan, and anticipate. All tasks they perform instinctively today. The self-driving car will have to do this perfectly to manage. Using the example of the Carrefour, the most famous in France, we can see that it poses a highly complex challenge for onboard artificial intelligence, which must analyze all the wild things other drivers do in real time. And even though Uber has started collecting data, thanks to the thousands of kilometers covered by its self-driving vehicles in San Francisco, since 2017, there have already been several accidents that a human would have avoided. In August 2018, Helen Hertzberg, a 49-year-old American, was killed in the first fatal crash involving a self-driving Uber Volvo XC90 while she was crossing a road in Arizona. The car, in autonomous mode with Rafaela Vasquez in the driver's seat, failed to avoid hitting a young woman. Tesla's autopilot also faced issues, not detecting a truck due to the sun's glare on its white trailer. The system confused it with the landscape, so the big question is, when will we see autonomous cars on our roads? And when will we be able to order a fully autonomous Uber to get home safely after a drink? Believe it or not, there are already experiments happening in Silicon Valley in San Francisco. There are said to be more than 600 autonomous taxis on the streets there. They've charmed the locals so much that people don't even stop at the crosswalk when they see them approaching. Their speed stays around 40 km/h. However, local news occasionally reports surprising incidents. These autonomous taxis occasionally disrupt firefighters' work or stop unexpectedly. There is a group of activists who place traffic cones on car hoods to disrupt sensors and block the entire system. It's artificial intelligence, the technology behind these innovations. Autonomous driving presents a significant moral challenge. With human-caused accidents, we usually understand the causes and determine responsibility. But the ethical question is whether we will be able to tolerate mistakes made by a machine. I'm sure you'll agree with me. The onboard experience promised by an autonomous car is very different from driving your regular car. So what do we do when we're not driving? The autonomous car is an opportunity to offer new services on board. In 2014, Rinspeed introduced the Exchange concept car, named the Office and Living Room on Wheels. A Tesla featuring a redesigned interior for autonomous driving, including a coffee machine, high-speed internet, and a home theater system. Similarly, Peugeot's 2018 e-Legend concept featured a steering wheel that retracts into the dashboard to offer passengers a streamlined dashboard and an immersive digital experience. The autonomous car will no longer require human involvement, presenting a novel human-machine relationship. For added comfort, mechanics enthusiasts should gain more electronics knowledge as we transition from the workshop and grease to lines of code. During my career, I had to think about what kind of experience to offer on board if we're not driving. According to extensive research on the topic, one of the primary arguments for autonomous cars for the general public is not having to worry about blood alcohol levels while driving. By taking the car after a night out, or by appealing to people who don't like to drive, no matter what, but still want to get around by car. Removing the driving constraint has consequences for the planet, society, and morality, particularly regarding choice. In the event of a fatal accident, which direction should the car take when faced with an obstacle? Should the life of an innocent passenger be put at risk just because they are not driving? Or that of a pedestrian who did nothing wrong and just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time? Massachusetts Institute of Technology's website moralmachine.net allows anyone to judge the most acceptable outcome of moral dilemmas as an external observer. Real moral dilemmas force you to choose between two difficult options. For example, in a self-driving car whose brakes have failed, would you prefer the car to crash into two overweight men? Or kill two athletic men who are completely in the right since they're crossing at the crosswalk with the green light? Is it better to kill an old man or a young person? And since a self-driving car doesn't need anyone to make decisions, will the passengers on board still be able to decide where their vehicle parks, or will it be an algorithm that makes that decision? The good side is that it will be easier to get around, and we can use that time to focus on other activities. In the future, children without a driver's license may travel alone in self-driving vehicles. Once we accept entrusting our safety to a robot, which we already do on some subway trains and flights, we won't have to think about taking a break every 2 hours anymore. This may substantially increase car travel distances, inevitably causing ecological and energy-related impacts, and a risk of promoting urban planning focused on city expansion, creating a vicious cycle of more cars on the roads, leading to increased traffic jams and time spent. Picture a future where your self-driving car is an extension of your living space, like in the movie Minority Report. Imagine what hackers could do with that, though the idea of going to bed in Paris and waking up well-rested in Prague sounds appealing. What will artificial intelligence's actual decision-making power and ability to act be? Do we want a world where a car can force you to stop after work? In that shop where there's nothing to purchase, or that bar you didn't even want to go to for the evening? Tell me if you're looking forward to autonomous cars or if you're part of the team that wants to keep the pleasure of driving. I'm waiting for your opinion on this topic in the comments, and all that's left for me to do is thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and on Instagram for more daily analysis. Have a good evening, everyone. See you next time.